Are you a monster because you were born one, or did someone turn you into one?
I'm very excited today to be speaking with Victoria Konefal, the star of Scared to Death, one of the stars of Scared to Death, and it's a joy. Thank Victoria, thank you for the time. I really do appreciate this.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
This film is so much fun. I've had the privilege to speak with Ray Dawn and Lynn, and I honestly think that this is just such a fun horror movie, but it also has some like it holds its comedy and its horror
Yeah.
intention very well. What excited you to get into the role?
I honestly I love horror. I'm a scream queen. I've loved horror my entire life. So any horror audition that slips in my inbox is something that I look forward to. Learning that I'm working with the Lynn Shay and Bill Moseley was the cherry on top. That was honestly my driving force of excitement in this film. And also because Lynn is such an eccentric character that I had, room to play and room to be a diva. I've never really played that kind of character before, so I was excited to dig into it and see what would come of it.
I mean, it is a great cast, and like you said, Lynn, I know Lynn especially is like Insidious and these incredible roles, and
Yeah.
Bill as well. Um, but a film like this, I mean, gets by or manages to succeed on the back of its ghost story, if you
Hmm.
will. And one of the things I love about a film like this is it says that you only see ghosts if you believe in them.
Hmm.
So I was wondering what you thought of a statement like that, and whether or not, as a culture, we've sort of lost this, you know, ghostly beliefs, if you will.
Yeah, I love that question. I absolutely do believe that you see what you want to see and what you believe in. I am a big believer of energy and manifestation, and those two things go hand in hand. If you're looking for the positive, you'll likely see the positive. If you're looking for the negative, you'll likely see the negative. I do think that life is so fun in that we do get to decide what we believe in. Like, that is the whole point of our individuality. So one person may not believe in ghosts, and that's totally fine and real to them. I personally do. I am a huge fan of the supernatural. I love all things witchy and woo woo. I have a tarot deck at home. Um, Actually, the fun fact, the house that we filmed in, we spoke to the owner and she told us that it was actually haunted. She showed us pictures of this ghost, and he's clear as day. He's wearing a top hat. He's a very tall man. I didn't feel a sinister energy in the home, but I knew that I wasn't allowed to go near his piano. Anytime I got near his piano, I got the heebie-jeebies. He doesn't like people touching his piano. But after work every day, I had to cleanse myself with some Palo Santo and sage and just like shake off the energy before I got home because it was very heavy and palpable in the house. But again, I choose to believe in that. Maybe other, cast and crew didn't feel that, but I definitely did.
And actually, yeah, for sure. And one of the things you say there, you raise a great point. Like a film like this, I mean, it's fun, but it gets dark. It gets
Hmm.
dark and quite serious in
Yeah.
spots. And as an actor, what do you do at the end of the day with that? How do you manage to separate yourself? I know you talk about cleansing because of the ghost, but even with the script itself, what's that like to take that home with you?
Yeah, the content of the script was pretty heavy, especially when it got to, the children. That is something that you just have to leave. You get in your car, you listen to some, the location was about a 40-minute drive away from my house, so I had plenty of time to just sit in my car, and music is honestly my favorite thing to do to change and shift my energy before I get home. Just listen to some positive, uplifting stuff and completely forget, and leave it on set, essentially.
Yeah, that's got to be. I mean, that's good that you manage to have that time. Actually, if you have a bit of that time, just
Yeah,
sort of to separate yourself, for sure.
definitely.
Uh,
Hmm.
One of the things that comes up in the film, with that being said, I mean, is Max. I believe it says there's no monster under the bed, only people are monsters. Um, I would love to know your thoughts on a statement like that for her character.
I think, her character has her neural pathways open because she's, always smoking the devil's lettuce so she can think in ways that the rest of us aren't. And I think that statement of hers is so profound, and it kind of leads into, this point of like nature versus nurture. Are you a monster because you were born one, or did someone turn you into one? Also, Frankenstein, Jacob Elordi's character, he was born a monster, but he was born with kindness. He learned uh monstrous behavior because he was abused by a monster. So it's just it's a nod to like the cycle of abuse and trauma, I guess.
Yeah, and that certainly takes place in this film as well as we find out as it goes on for sure.
Yeah.
I wonder, you mentioned about working with Lynn and with Bill. I was
Yeah.
wondering what, like for you, you're excited to work on the set with them. What do you take away from that experience? What sort of things did you learn from them on a film like this?
I mean, they're just such professionals. They make it look so easy. With Lynn, I really learned how to not care. Like she'll just go on set, she'll do her thing. She's so confident, and she doesn't have any fear about what she's doing. We did like 20 takes of one of her possession scenes, and she would do a different take every time, be so creative, and she wasn't afraid to like mess up or fail or do a bad take. She can't do a bad take, but she wasn't scared to really play. um and there's a sense of freedom in that, so I definitely learned a lot from her in that respect. Bill and I spoke a lot, so he and I bonded off the fact that we're both Scorpios, and he's such a funny guy. He would just talk and tell me stories. He taught me vocabulary. He's so incredibly intelligent. Um, and he snaps in and out of his character very quickly. He has a really quick turnaround for being himself and being his character. So just learning with two of the greats in such pros really inspired me to like get on it.
I love that. I love that because, for both of them, you can see like they've got great careers and the fact that you're able to take these things from them, the confidence you see, I think is just amazing. It'd be so much fun to work with them.
Oh my gosh, it was the best. One of the highlights of my career, especially Lynn. Insidious was one of my favorite movies growing up. So I was like, I'm working with her. Great. Checked it off my list. Love it.
It is a classic. It is, it really is.
Yeah.
I know we're running out of time, but I would love to hear from you. As audiences get to see Scared to Death, what are you hoping that they take away from the time?
I'm just hoping that they have fun. As an artist, what you produce, you just hope that it speaks to an audience in one way or another. And I hope that, they go into it with their friends. It's a bonding experience. I hope they get scared, and I hope they have laughs, and I just hope they enjoy themselves.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I know I did watching it. It's so much fun.
Oh, thank you.
Victoria, thank you so much for the time. I genuinely
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Of
Have a
course. Thank
great
you for
day.
having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Have a great day. Thank you.
Yeah, you as well.
Thanks. Bye-bye.